Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel, and welcome also to this very special episode in which I was invited to speak for a group of college students who are taking the subject seminar on trends and issues in tourism and hospitality at Holy Name University. So, hello there to all the students at Holy Name University who are on this class. And I would like also to uh, say thank you to Group D of this class who have invited me to discuss about personal finances. And as well as, I would like also to greet your advisor, Ma'am Lutgarda Cañado. Thank you so much, Ma'am, for creating such activity for like this for our student. Though we are on this uncertain situation, but still, you have find ways really to make classes like this still an engaging one. And I would like also to greet all the students at Holy Name University for being so brave for these unprecedented and unpredictable times. You really make sure to it na magpadayon mo og eskwela despite of the challenges that we have. Of course, one of those few challenges that we have in the Philippines, dili jud ing ana kakusog ang atong internet diri sa Pilipinas, but you really are so brave na nisugal mo and nagpadayon sa inyong pag-eskwela, making sure na walay masayang na semester, walay masayang na tuig sa inyong pag-eskwela ug pag naningkamot mo na mahuman mo sa inyong pag-eskwela. So with this, I hope so I will be able to give justice to the topic you asked me to discuss about. And let me show you the slide presentation for a while. There you go. So the topic is about personal finance, and this talk is composed of three major subtopics. One is we will talk about budgeting. Another is improving your credit score, and lastly, saving and furthermore tips with regards to the practical approach on how we can be financially freedom in finances. And to start with this discussion, I would like to start with this question. And so yes, of course, kung atong hisgutan is about finance, definitely this question comes into our mind. Let's take a look into the next slide. Before that one, yes, here we go. Why do they say that money is the root of all the evil? Since when you talk about finance, when you talk about budgeting, when you talk about credit, when you talk about saving, definitely you're talking about money. But then, on the contrary, some others would say that money is the root of all the evils. Do you believe in this? Because here's my point of view. Money is just a mere instrument. It's an instrument, our measurement to the effort that we are exerting, the means of our living. But don't you know that the love of money is the root of all the evil? So it's not the money itself, but the verb love of money that makes it bad. So therefore, dealing with money is really not a bad topic. It's not about, when you talk about money, it's not about evil, but rather the love of money. Kay ang atong kung masobraan ta sa paghigugma, maging gahaman ta when you talk about money, dito na mosulod ang concept na evil when it comes to money. Next slide, please. So let's define first personal finance. So it is the method of planning, managing, and maintaining financial activities you engage, including your expenses, your income, your savings, and investment. So let's dig deeper into this. Let's say method. Method is pamaagi sa pagplano o pag-manage nimo o labaw sa tanan pag-maintain nimo sa imong financial aspect, sa kwarta, sa imong gasto, sa kwarta na mo sulod sa imuha, that's what we call income, sa imong savings, sa pagtigom, ug further, that's what we call investment. And it hovers over the scope of monitoring all these transactions in order to achieve your financial goals. Whether these goals are short-term or long-term, all will depend on your current financial status. To properly identify the tactics you can practice in attaining those goals. And pagsulod sa pandemic, dear students, kasagaran nato Filipinos, most of us, more or less 80 to 85% was on a stage of financial crisis, wala pa ang pandemic. And here comes pandemic, that's a health crisis. And all of us has been shaken, nawagtangan og trabaho, businesses has been shut down. Please take note of this, na dili lang ang trabahante ang apektado karon. It is both the business owner and the employees who are really much affected with the crisis, with the pandemic that we have. At first, it was a health crisis, but I would say we are now facing the financial aspect, the financial crisis, and we are facing the economic crisis. Most of us are not equipped with these situations. Why? Because most of us don't have savings. Most of us are just living our means by day. Most of us are just living our means kinsinas inigkapit sa 30 nang nabuhi lang ta sa mga adlaw sa panahon na magdawat lang ta sa sweldo. But we don't plan, and most of the Filipinos failed to plan 5 years, 10 years ahead when it comes to finances. And I'm very happy. Sorry, I am encountering a little bit of stammer. I am very happy. Why? Because academic institutions this time, like Holy Name University, like your school, have integrated financial literacy to you, dear students. Though this is not your major, but yes, of all the courses siguro naman in the whole world, tanang kurso sa college and universities, kinahanglan siguro nato isulod ang topic na personal finances, financial aspect sa kwarta. Because most of us are just, and here is our the misconception that we are engaging into. And before I would start dealing with other things, diri sa kuan kasagaran nato, naandan nato, ug kultura pod nato, ang batasan pod nato, no? Mayon ta na, moskwela ko kay para makatrabaho ko. Moskwela ko para pag-graduate na ako'y tarong na trabaho. That's always our goal. On the other side, meaning to say, forever lang ta na empleyado, forever lang ta na ang atong source of income usara, nagdepende lang ta sa atong sweldo, di ba? And along the way, on this discussion, along on this topic, madiscuss na ko sa inyo na as we move up on the ladder of success, nagkasaka ang imong ranggo, nagkaas ang imong posisyon, nagkadako ang imong sweldo, take note, nagkataas po ug nagkadako ang imong gasto. So, let's discuss on this video about personal finance strategies. So, let's start with number 1. We need to set our financial goal. Dapat iset na to. Okay? I-condition na to atong kaugalingon. The first step to defining your financial limit starts with knowing what your financial goals are. Diba? Financial goal, gusto ko, pag abot o 40, I will earn my first million. Gusto ko 35, at the age of 35, ang savings nako sa bangko na ako'y 350,000. Something like that. Now, dear students who are watching me right now, and even other people, and maybe professionals working there, who are watching my vlog, akong pangutana sa inyo sa pagkakaroon, how much do you have on your savings account? Is it enough to sustain the next month? Kung wala kay trabaho karong buwana, kaya ba na niya masustain your needs for the next month? It's a tough question for, as of this moment, I know it's a tough question for the students who are really dependent pa sa mga mama o papa nila. Whether long term or short term, it is very smart to know the priorities you have so that you can limit yourself and be reminded of your objective. Diba? Gusto ko, when you set your financial goal, by the way, dear students, when you set your financial goals or any goals in your life, be specific. Ngayon ka, at the age of 25, dapat na nakoy kaugalingong negosyo. Unsa pud na ng negosyo, gusto ko na ako'y kaugalingong restaurant. Okay? At the age of 30, I wanted to na ang akong savings account na ay 300,000 na sulod. Ang akong emergency fund na ay 150,000 na sulod. See? So that's, you set your goal, you set your financial goal, because from that point of view, makontrol ug madisiplina nimo ang imong kaugalingon. Next strategy, the second one is pay off and limit your debts. Bayari ug i-control ang imo ang pagpangutang. It is not wrong, dili sayop to acquire debt in a long run. Dili sayop na makautang ka. No, I'm not telling you, ingon pa sa mga katigulangan, ingon sila na wala pa kay nabuhi sa kalibutan na nakay utang, because our country, of course, nangutang to the World Bank, nangutang to another financial institution for the government to sustain. But it's not about that. Okay? Dili sayop, yes, na mangutang. However, you have to restrict yourself being strapped to these liabilities. Kinahanglan i-control nimo ang imong kaugalingon na dili isad ka nabuhi na kanunay putos og puno og utang. They are not healthy to your savings. In fact, kasagaran na dagkog utang, wala joy savings kay kuwang pa pambayad ang ilang income. In fact, it may cause dili ka makasave at all. Alright? So, dili sayop ang mangutang. Yes, sir, mas ingon sila, mas nagkadako ang utang. And I would say yes, mas nagkadako ang utang. But take note, they are loaning money from the banks and financial institution not to buy a brand new iPhone, not to go and go on vacation in Maldives. No, when they loan money, they make use of that money to be another source of income. Investment pud to padong. Meaning to say, naipadulungan ang ilahang kwarta. Dili sama sa the common Filipino culture, mangutang, one day millionaire, gihurot ang utang, nagpakasaya sa buhay, and the next day, wala na ikabayad, wala pa ikakaon, wala pa ikpanggasto. See? We have this attitude. I don't know where and how did it all start with naging anya mga Filipino. Maybe it has something to do with our culture. So much for that. Let's proceed to number 3 of our financial strategy. Set a budget on everything. Your budget defines how your savings are going to turn out. So i-budget tanan. Wala pa ni sulod ang imong sweldo, dapat naka-budget na tanan, di ba? Savings minus expenses. Minus sa imahang ang imong income, ibanan nimo og imong i-save. Kung unsa toy sobra, mao to ang imong ipangwaldas, ipang laag. Okay? Imong sweldo pag sulod, kuhaan nimo para sa savings, and then kung unsa may sobra, mao to imong bahinon, bayad sa kuryente, bayad sa other expenses ninyo. Kung naapay masobra, then that's your panglaag, pang Starbucks, pang vacation, di ba? Ang problema mang gyud diri nato, and the culture that we have embraced, pag abot sa sweldo, walwal sa tagay, happy-go-lucky, only to find out, wala na yung nahabilin. Na naimbento ang terminology na uh, petsa de peligro. That's in Tagalog, petsa de peligro. Anang adlaw, a week before the payday. That's petsa de peligro. Or sa Bisaya, ting bitay, ting bits. Gagalisod na, bisag pamliti. Why? Because pag sulod sa kwarta, katul kayong atong kamot, we spend so much without budgeting everything na mulahos ni siya pag abot sa kinsinas na apakadapay sobra na kwarta, di ba? Di pa ka nagkalisod. Be smart on watching your spending habits and start devising a partition method to save up wisely. Dapat naka-divide, pagsulod. Say for example, your 15-30 na salary is 10,000 on the 15th and another 10,000. So, yun na to. 20,000 ang imong limpyo na sweldo. So, pag abot sa kinsinas, ang 10,000, minusan nimo sa kuryente, kung nag-abang kag balay, minus diretso, para sa imong grocery. Grocery nimo na dapat until 18, dapat dili kutob lang titsa 15 ang imong grocery. That should be the span of imong grocery. Ang imong pamliti, budget pamliti. What else? Mga konsumo pa, kung nakay vitamins, kung naitambal na gi-maintain. That's it. And the rest, a big chunk to that goes to your savings. Kung ang problema nato, sunod na sweldo na lang pud ko mag-savings, ihurot sa nina ko dire. Moadto mi kay gi-invite mi, moadto daw mi sa kuan, adto daw mig Boracay, moadto daw mig Palawan, piso fare karon. See? So, na-trigger na pud ka, nawagtang ka sa imong budgeting. Alright? And let's proceed to number 4. Use credit card with care. No, for me personally, if you are going to ask me, are you using credit card? Nope, I'm not using credit card. And it was my decision. I received like 3 banks who sent to my office when I was still in one of my previous company. They sent to me credit card na yun, ready to use. Pag-activate na lang to na ako. But I opted not to make use of it because pagkabalo ka na accessible lang, dali lang, paspas ra kaayo, di ba? So, credit card are your best friend when you need to purchase actually something at times na wajud kay cash available sa imong wallet. But there is but. They can be a culprit to humongous debts caused by impulsive buying attitude. Di ba? Hay, sale. Bisag dili kinahanglan, di ba? That's why we need to define what is need and what is want. Pag tanaw nimo, bisag na pa joy sapatos, nindot lagi ni. Bisag na pa nindot na bag. Inis lang kog bag. Uy, nindot lagi ning kuan. Pag tanaw sa imong classmate na bagog contact lens, bisag di jud gubay imong mata. Contact lens pod ka, swipe ang card. See? 30%, 50%. Di ba? So, nailad ka, and then swipe na po ang card. Hangtod sa nag-build up, nagpatong-patong, na dakoy mong bayranan sa credit card, hangtod so, ang imong sigig bayad na lang, ang penalties pa lang. Di ba? It is a crucial responsibility, take note, to own one credit card. So, you should have the extra discipline to manage it. Kung pwede lang dili nimo gamiton, ayaw na siya gamita. 5th, know what the good and the bad side of debts. Huna-huna ila-ilaha unsay bati na side, unsay maayo na side kung ang atong gihisgutan utang. Not all debts are bad. Yes, I mentioned that a while ago, dili tanang utang bati. In the sense that it will burden with a high interest rate while having no tax benefits. Kung mangutang naman lang pud ka, nya napuno lang ka, sige bayad sa interest, ayaw na lang. Di ba? Nangutang ka for the sake kay mo palit kag sakyanan. Think of it. Ang pagpalit nimo og sakyanan, you are adding an expenses to your utang. Una, dili mo dagan ang sakyanan kung walay gasolina. Ikaduha, dili mudagan ang sakyanan kung walay maintenance. Ikatulo, dili mudagan ang sakyanan kung dili ka mukuha og lisensya. Kung kabalo ka mag-drive, good for you. You can drive for yourself. But if not, it's an expenses. You need to hire a driver. And from time to time, you need to change yung imong tires. And then you need to bring your car in on the shop for its maintenance, and it costs a lot, di ba? So it's an addition to your expenses. Ayahay tanawon, you have a car, but in reality, take note, it is an addition to your expenses up unless you are going to buy a car for you to be able to start up a car rental business. I think that's better, di ba? Kaya ang imuhang income makasustain sa imong giloan. But ang ifang imong income was just kulang pa para mabayaran ng utang, and that's a different thing. Another is maintain a good credit score. Your spending activities using your credit card are beneficial to building a good credit score. So use it with extra care. Credit card or utang, na naman sila yung mga benefits. Kaya if you are going to take a look sa when you are a credit card holder, you have lots of benefits. You have points, you have freebies, na. And as well as kung bank loan ka, nangutang ka sa loan, once you pay on time, wala man kay dungag interest, di ba? So, okay lang. So, that's why you need to maintain a good credit score. Or else, ma-blacklist ka sa bangko. Always pay on time and never miss any dues to help your credit score go up. Para next time na mag-utang ka, if you're planning to loan a bigger amount, and then that's fine. You can use this score on garnering lease, mortgage, and other loans, so you'll need solid proof of ability to repay. So kinahanglan, mahibaw-an nimo unsa ang imuhang mga bayranan every month, kasi later at the time, it will be a problem to you na bypass nimo, gipalapas nimo na aning pitsaha na kay bayranan sa imong utang, and then yung sunod buwan na lang po. That's the batasan pa ba? That's an attitude. That's a culture that we have as a Filipino. Maayo kay ta magpa-ugma na lang. Sige, ugma na lang. And then ugma na lang. And then at such time na it reached to the point na due date na nato, entitled na ta sa interest. So ang atong bayaran, labot lang sa existing na utang, napay interest. So mas nidako pa noon. Ang interest noon, you can magamit pa unta nimo sa laing investment, wala na. And set up a retirement plan. Yes, we don't know, ang panahon nato karon, unpredictable na. So it is smart to save up for the future when you decide to retire. Many are worried about not having enough funds when the time comes na mo-quit na sila sa ilahang trabaho. There are a lot of uncertainties. You need to prepare as you grow, and it's better to start early than sorry. We have mga pre-need plan, we have insurances. So these things are as important when you are planning for a happy retirement. Mao nang gitawag nato na happy and dili stressful na retirement. Maybe some of you or most of you nakakita na mo og public school principal sa una, ya karon in taon himong janitor iyang kinabuhian. She was 80 years old. Nanuman wala niya na planuhan ang iyang retirement. And for my audience on my YouTube channel, and not only for my audience but also for the students of Holy Name University, take note of this. Mahimo mong mga ginikanan. In the future, you will be a parent. And please, putlon nato bitaw anang pamatasan na atong ipasa ang responsibilidad padung sa atong mga anak. Ikat na nato na pamatasan, di ba? Paskwelaha ang imong mga anak, siguraduhan na ay maayong kaugmaon para sa iyang pamilya. Dili tungod kay buhion niya ang iyang ginikanan. It's okay. Okay? Please don't bash me. It's okay. Natabangan nato ang atong mga mama ug papa, lolo ug lola tungod kay sila nagbuhi og nagpagawas nato diri sa kalibutan. Sila rason nga naata sa babaw sa kalibutan. But there is a but. Okay? Para dili mapasa-pasa ang pagkapobre gikan sa gikinikanan hangtod sa sunod, we need to change our attitude. We need to change and to cut that culture na ipasa nato ang pagbuhi sa pamilya sa pinakamaguwang hangtod sa kinsay sunod na makaskwela, hangtod sa kinsay swertehon. Nya How about kung walay sortihon? Diba? So these are but of the questions na makikita nato in reality on the ground. Number 8, devise various platform to generate income. As the Chinese saying goes, do not just put your egg on a one tray, on a single tray. So it's the same idea as well, that do not just be dependent to just one source of income. If you're really passionate about saving up as much as you can, you should consider creating ways to generate more income. Dili lang dapat usa ang source of income nato. We need to have a passive income. Anang income bitaw na dili wala nimo gihunahuna nga naay nagasulod anang kuan, ini kwarta nagasulod sa imuhan, di ba? A full-time job may not suffice your needs and the goals you want to achieve. Ang imong usa ka full-time job, basin dili na siya musigo. Labaw na karon ang atong lifestyle nagka-worse ang atong lifestyle, wala tay healthy lifestyle. So tendency nato karon is unhealthy lifestyle leads to daghang sakit. Daghang sakit leads to dagkong gastuhonon sa hospital, di ba? Serpod, oy simba ko. But yeah, that's the reality that we have. So we need to make sure that we have several avenues, daghan tag sources of income. Kay kung usa lang atong income, gimainusan pag utang, minus pa sa gasto sa balay, wa na. Nga na ka at the end of the day, wa pay payday na nakasapit sa depeligro. And 9, be wise on your insurance. Okay? This is a good topic actually, no? But then since I will just give you a brief of this, that having an insurance is the most clever decision, very smart decision you can make. It will protect you against financial risk and help you get back once an unfortunate circumstance happens. Kasagarang insurance karon na ay accident included na ang investment, ang gitawag nila na VUL, na apoy insurance karon na appeal ang imuhang accident, and even the burial nimo, di ba? The part of pre-need unta ni sila na yung mga inclusion na ingana. Kasagaran pa jud na matabo na mamatayan sa atong pamilya. Simba ko lang, no? Or watching this video, diha pa jud sa mga panahon na galisod pa jud ta, di ba? So however, you need to be mindful on what plans to get and that type of insurance plan. Remember, daghan na pud ang scam karon. If they match your financial goals or they offer the right amount of coverage na kaya nimo, dili ka maputos og utang o dili pud ka maglisod, and then go for it, okay? And check the background of the insurance company. Kay basin fly by night na insurance, anang putso-putsura bitaw, anang inig kaugma na yung opisina na wagtang na pud nya, scam di ay to, right? So if it's too good to if it's too good to know these things out, they are offering this blah blah blah, lami kayo mang discuss, no? Be careful and always check the background of any insurance company. And maintain an emergency fund. That's number 10. It is an essential to planning your finances is putting aside an emergency fund. Other than your akong gingon ka ganiha savings, there should be an emergency fund. Separate na siya na account in case there are unforeseen event that will occur. Sama sa pandemic na natabo na to. That's why I said, kasagaran nato mga Pilipino dili ready because we don't have emergency fund. Though no one knows what the future holds. So ay kabalo unsay matabo ugma, di ba? Mao pud ni usahay ma-confuse bitaw ta, Sir Franz, ni sila na YOLO. You only live once. I-enjoy ang life. Na pud diri sir na sir mag-save man di nalibog na mi. You only live once, so dapat i-enjoy na lang ni namo kay unpredictable naman pod. Yes, it's true, you only live once. So make sure that you live life to the fullest. That includes securing your finances. It is your responsibility to save an emergency fund you can count on in the future. It needs time to build up the amount that can cover a couple of months worth of expenses. In fact, niingon sila na before ka mo resign sa imong trabaho, if ganahan ka mo bayanan sa imong trabaho, naglabad na kaning imong kumpanya, lalis mo sa imong boss. So if you're planning really to quit on that job, make sure that you have savings good for 6 months. Take notes, 6 months. Kaya ka buhiyon sa imong savings in the next 6 months. Kay basin, then pagka next month wala pa kay trabaho na sigurado, to the next month wala pa, di ba? So atong imong savings kaya kanya buhion for more than half year, or sorry, 6 months is half year. So yes, for a half year kaya kanya himuon buhion for the half year. So that's the time na makaingon ka, no, confident ka kay mabuhi pa nimo imong kaugalingon. Safe pa ka ana. So that should be your emergency fund dapat before ka mag-resign if you are just dependent to your job. But if we are talking about daghang kag sources, of course, akong ingon, you need to have emergency fund, you need to have savings, you need to have plans or insurance. And 10, avoid impulse purchases, impulsive buying. I myself is guilty on this thing. Why? There are times really na anang desire, anang sayang sale pag yun. Ba nya ani pa jud mga salesperson, lami kayo mo bulatics. Hala sir, last pair na baya na. Hala sir, wala na baya may stock dito sa kuana na stock room. Mao na nang last. Nya, sigo pa jud sa imong size. Kung sapatos man kahana or blouse man kahana or sanina man kahana. And then you would say na, sige, palito na lang ni nako, even if wala kay plano mo palit. So these transactions are to blame for the most common disruptive budget plan natong tanan. Diba? Girls, masulod og Watson, walay plano, pero paggawas, 2,000 pod ang nagasto. No matter how little you spend on something, when you add up imong giplas, the multiple transactions, they will total to an amount that you could have gone for savings unta. It is practical to stay away from making these activities. Likayanin nato, di ba? Impulsive buying. Kung control, disiplinahon nato ang atong kaugalingon, di ba? Aning atong pagsigig palit og pagkaon, think of a healthy lifestyle this time. Kay we are on a health crisis. Another is treat yourself too. Diba? Don't niingon si Sir Franz, save. Don't niingon si Sir Franz, don't do impulsive buying. Don't niingon si Sir Franz, stay healthy and keep away from mga milk tea and mga fast food. But you need to treat yourself too. Of course, it should be once in a while. Dili po niya, wala pa'y sweldo, halos everyday po ni mo gitreat imong self. What is all the hard work if you are not going to enjoy the fruit of your discipline? Every once in a while, akong giingon. Once in a while, you should treat yourself to something you really like, such as vacation, travel, dining out with your family, ngaon mo sa gawas, bitbito ninyo yung lamisa padong gawas sa inyong parking lot. Or movies, watching movies in cinemas. This time, kay tungod pandemic, managdili ni sa applicable ang movies. Not only this lets you breathe for a while, ginhawa sa kakajot, but it also lets you take pleasure on how far you've come. So, extra money na nimo ni siya. Mao ning imong mga gitawag na disposable income na dapat. Ang pag-treat nimo sa imong self, lahi po to siya na savings. Pang YOLO to nimo. Dito na nimo kuhaon ang imong you live only once na budget. Diba? Pero magdepende ang imuhang treat yourself na buhaton sa imuhang disposable income. Pag mingon ta na disposable income, mao ning extra na kwarta na wala ni siya. Nasudlan na nimo ang imong insurance, nabayaran na nimo ang pre-need plan, na butangan na nimo ang imong savings account, na butangan na nimo ang imong emergency fund, na butangan na nimo ang imong educational fund, ug nabutangan na nimo ang imong business na plano, itong savings nimo sa business. So kung naay sobra, that's your treat yourself fund or disposable income. Okay? 13, use personal finance apps that we have both in, I think in iPhone and in Samsung, mga Android, na yung mga finance app to manage your spending. If you're having a hard time monitoring your financial transactions, I would suggest that there are several financial apps that can help you track your budget. Personal finance apps offer various ways to streamline your budget. Mura-mura ra na og atong bitaw na mga application about healthy exercise, mga exercise ug mga diet. It's the same thing with that one. Ing-ana ang paggamit sa ilaha. Consolidate all your expenses and automate transaction for you. This one of the most recommended personal finance strategies by expert. We are asked on a separate topic here. Lami unta ni siya i-discuss, but then again, I will just give you a bit of peace. Mauning akong gi-discuss diri sa number 13. So, na mga online application that will help you really kung pwede nimo masukod ang imuhang diet, ang imong timbang, ang imong body fat, how much more when it comes to finances. Yes, there are application ready available both in Android and other mga Apple na mga gadget where you can really make and track your finances. Dali ra pag yun. Number 14 is strategize how you will pay your mortgages. Mortgages are usually a long-term commitment that highly impact your financial position. Most especially aning nagpalit kag balay and it was under bank finance. So you either pay it monthly or you pay it off at one go kas alang nimo bayaran para wala na kay gihuna-huna, depende sa imong availability sa imong fund. The later is undeniably impractical. That's why you need to strategize how you will pay it off without sabotaging your savings, your emergency fund, your expense, daily and monthly expenses. So you need to strategize. Pero kung mali ka yan, na walay utang, mas maayo. Kung naamay utang, the minimal, di ba? And let's discuss the second phase of our topic, that's personal finance principles. Mga prinsipyo that I myself is applying and you can apply as well, young professionals. First is spend less than you earn. By spending less, di ba, gasto, kung mahimo ang imong gasto, di ba, gamay kaayo dapat kaysa sa imong income. Ang problema mangyud nato is mas dako always ang atong gasto kaysa sa atong income. So, we need a shortage of money, di ba? Scarcity na ang musulod. By spending less than you earn, you can put money away for the future instead of living paycheck to paycheck. Pag giingon natong living from paycheck to paycheck, nabuhi ra ka, kinsinas katapusan, di ba? Or sinker deeper into debt because you can't pay your bills. Or naputos na kag utang, naputlan pa kag kuryente, naputlan pa kag tubig because you cannot sustain anymore. Itungod na you spend more than you earn. Dapat bali, spend less than you earn. Second, maximize your income. And be careful of this, gentlemen and ladies. Na yung mga too good to be true dihan na mga investment. Okay? Need part-time, earn up to 40 to 45,000. You know the scam. I don't want to mention these things out in this platform, di ba? Pero kabalo ko na gets ninyo. You were able to get my point, okay? Maximize your income in a way na dilipod ka madihado. Okay? Ayaw anang kadali ka mo dato. Take and embrace the process if you wanted to become wealthy. Okay? Ayaw atong gadaling dato ang ending na scam noon. Instead of trying to budget your way to being rich, you're much better off looking for ways to make more money. Instead na kinahanglan ma-promote ko, kinahanglan para mo dato ko sayop. Be smart. Di ba? There are several ways that you can invest. There are several ways that you can start with a small business. Problema nato is we wanted to have, kung may negosyo ta, dako, diretso. Diba? Millions diretsong income. No. All the millionaires started with incomes of hundreds, then thousands before they earn millions. So start the same way. Ayaw nang gadali tag dato Kay kasagaran ana padung ta sa scam. Negotiating a raise, finding a paying job, freelancing, or starting a business on the side are always ways you can bring more money. Diba? Yes, promotion can be. Mayo, paspas imong promotion. And while gasaka imong promotion, gidako imong sweldo, up sa pod. Make sure na dili mo taas imong gasto. Okay? Strategize and save money, a separate amount para sa imuhang business. Do other freelancing job, di ba? If you're good in painting, if you're really good in typing, speed typer ka, you can encode several documents. So you can do such sideline business. If you're good in talking, you can do hosting, di ba? There are several ways. And third, plan for emergencies. Sir, emergency bitaw, so dili ta kabalo kan usa mo abot, nganong planuhan man. That's the wrong mindset of us. Emergency are a fact of life. Normal na sa atong kinabuhi. Muabot na sa atong kinabuhi the unexpected. If you're not ready for them, they can cost a lot of money for you. That's why make ready for this one. That's why you need to set aside what we call emergency fund. Fourth, build your credit. Like it or not, your credit score can have a significant impact on your everyday life. Ba? Dako imong sweldo na halos di nakaganahan mo trabaho because tanang imong sweldo padung lang sa bayad sa utang, wanay na take home, di ba? If you ever want to get one of the top credit cards or borrow money to a low interest rate, then your credit score will play a key role. The same thing if ganahan ka og mag-loan og dako na kwarta because you are really a visionary. You have planned dako nakayuta dihan. You wanted to structure out a building, magpaabang ka diha. You wanted to build an arcade or a house for rent or a boarding house for rent, but you don't have fund para makabuild og structure. So you need to start building you a good credit para later on si bangko na mo duol nimo, siya pa'y mag-offer o magpautang siya nimo. And at the same time, mabu pa jud na interest. Okay? Fifth, save for retirement. I mentioned this a while ago. Retirement. That thing most people start thinking about much later than they should. Kasagaran sa ato maghuna-huna, kuan na, finish line na. In which is wrong. We need to start retirement as early as when? As early as now. Okay? The sooner you start contributing for a retirement account, the better you will be. Nga dili ka intawon magpabuhi sa imuhang mga apo or imong mga anak. That's what I'm telling kaganiha. Na let's try to cut that culture. Let's try to cut that attitude na sige skwilag tarong kay para matigulang mi na imubuhi na mo. Mag-atiman, yes. Na imo alaga, yes. That's fine. Pero ang the word na mubuhi, I think we need to start embracing a new culture bitaw na as young as now, we are mindful para sa atong retirement. Dili sa tanang kinabuhi gitrabaho ta. Okay? Dili sa tanang kinabuhi nato ng empleyado ta. Think of something different this time, young people of the Philippines. And let's talk about budgeting guide for money. Lami ini siya na topic. A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Okay? Sa Bisaya, ang pag-budget, imong gi-guide asa padung imong kwarta. Dili kay nangutana ka asa naman to akong sweldo na 50 mil murag wa raman, di ba? And I was able to handle maritime students. Siyempre, mga seaman, di ba? In the future, mga seafarers ni sila. And I handled economics, I think, economics with them. Business and economics. And I told them, dili sa tanang kinabuhi, maayo ang ato ang panginabuhi sa dagat. Risky ang panginabuhi dito. Go, earn that ambition for you to be a seafarer, but have a savings. Kay kasagarang mga bato-bato sa langit, matabaan, wag magalit. Tanang, most of the seafarers would really enjoy Some nang kusog pa sila, sige pa sila promotion, and then later on, they suffer kay walay savings. Nang retire, na disgrasya simbako, and then nothing happens. So, a budgeting guide, first is gather your financial paperwork. Tigumatanan. Gather your bank statement, gather your investment, utility bills, mga bayranan, credit card bills, mga resibo, mortgage, loan statement nimo. One of the keys to budget making process is to create a monthly average. The more information you can dig up, the better. So, importante na listahon nimo gasto, tanang bayranan sa usa ka buwan, versus tanan na mosulod na income nimo sa usa ka buwan. And then, second is calculate now your income. If your income is in the form of a regular paycheck, where taxes are automatically deducted, sama karon here in the Philippines, na pagsulod sa mga ATM, nadidakan na ang mga taxes, then using the net income, mo nang nahinlo sa imo, tawag nato na take-home pay amount, that's fine. And then record this total income as a monthly income nimo. Followed by, create a list of monthly expenses. Diri na ta sa gastos. So, kung nalista na nimong imong monthly income, diri na ta sa imong nagasto. Use your bank statements, receipts, and credit card statement from the last 3 months to identify all your spending para ma-forecast mo. That's what we call forecasting of your expenses. And afterwards, determine fixed and variable expenses. Pagbuingon ta ng mga fixed expenses, mao ni na ang mga mandatory kinahanglan ni nato mabayaran. These are part of the need that you pay. You pay the same amount every month. Dili mo taas, dili mo ubos. Okay? Include items like mortgage or rent payment and car payment. If you pay a standard credit card payment, include that amount and any other essential spending that tends to stay the same from month to month. Mao ni atong gitawag na fixed income. Kuryente is a variable income, kay musaka mo taas. Ang tubig is a variable income, musaka mo taas. Ang renta sa balay is a fixed income. Usually ang atong mga landlords or mga nagpaabang sa ato, murag yearly man ni sila. So we are talking about monthly man. So yearly pa man sila mo increase, or sometimes after 2 years pa. So pwede nato sila mahug as fixed income. Telephone bill nimo is a fixed income. So internet connection is a fixed income. So lista nimo siya dito sa fixed income. And total your monthly income and expenses. So imo nang i-total both. If your income is higher than your expenses, and then naapaka sa maayong kahimtang, Brad, ma'am, this extra money means you can put funds towards areas of your budget such as retirement, I mentioned a while ago, savings, or para mas mapadali nimo matiwas ang imong loan or utang. Make adjustment to expenses. If you are on a situation where expenses is higher than your income, find the areas in your variable sa expenses na side na pwede nimo i-cut off, pwede nimo wagtangon. Look for places you can reduce your spending, like eating out less. Anang pangaon sa gawas, kada matag Saturday or Sunday manggawas mo sa imong pamilya, pwede ko lang twice a month na lang or once a month, di ba? Ang importante, makakaon mo 3 ka beses sa usa ka adlaw, di ba? Or eliminate a category, like if nagpa-member ka sa gym membership nimo. If you can do it at home, then do a body weights or mga or you have pwede man ka mag-improvise na lang ang mga weights, di ba? Or your mobile subscription or your Netflix subscription. Ano mga Netflix subscription ninyo, di ba? Kay gasto lang si Netflix actually. On ka sa aircon, nagdagan ang kuryente, I mean to say, nagsigig patak ang kuryente kaya nag-on ang aircon, on po ang TV. Diba? And budget guide for your money. Please hold on for a moment. I just need to charge my phone. It has signaled it's draining its battery for a while. I'm so sorry for that one. Anyway, we are now here, the 50-30 budget method. I would like to discuss this to you. This is so easy, a step-by-step guide. So, 50% of your income must be your budget for the needs. Mga kinahanglanon nimo, renta, grocery, utilities, tubig, kuryente, internet, and transportation. Kung nakay kaugalingong sakyanan, budget sa gasolina ug maintenance sa sakyanan, or imong adlaw-adlaw na plite. Okay? So that's the 50% of your income didto nimo iset aside. Okay? Once, 30%. Imong mga kagustuhan. Once, di ba pag moingon ta sa pag once, pwede ta mabuhi bisag walay ing-ani. Walay bag-o na ing-ani. Okay? 30% of your salary dito sa once. Sa nina, eating out, gym membership, or the Netflix. I mentioned Netflix kanina. And 20% should be your savings. So, emergency fund, your contributions, government-mandated contributions, your savings account, and of course, for your investment purposes. So, that's the 50-30 budget method. The 50% goes to the needs, 30% goes to the wants, while 20% goes to your savings. So, if you're going to take a look and see, subdivide nimo ang imuhang 20% ng income to the emergency fund. I just tagged there 401k contribution. These are the mandatory contributions, savings account, and as well as to your investment. 30%, actually, if pwede pa nimo mapagamyan ang imong wants, mas better unta, no? But since, then again, para po dili boring ang imong life, og napod kay life, Sir Franz, ayos, may tagtangi og life, di ba? So, that's why it's there. 30% is the wants. And that comes with clothing. Maybe you need a new uniform from time to time. Pero if kaya ma-bring down, ma-minimize ang cost, that's look into sales and do not exceed sa imong budget. Say for example, ang imong budget for that month sa bag-o na sanina is just 500, so do not go beyond the limit. Diba? Pero kung mag-ilis kag sapatos, so you need, pagtanaw nimo tag 2,000 na kung ganahan na sapatos, tag 2,000 man siguro to. So what you need to do is dili nimo gastuhon ang karong buwan hangtod sa next month, hangtod sa makumpleto nimo ang imong 2,000 pesos, di ba? Or since you need badly needed na jud ang shoes, under sa clothing man ang shoes, no? Kay nagtrabaho ka, nag-opisina ka, nga namang yun, dili na jud madala og shoe glue. Siguro tangtangon na lang nato si Netflix para makapalit ka to imong kinahanglanon. Ibalik lang nimo si Netflix kung dili na you are back on the track na dito sa imong mga clothes. Okay? Now, let's proceed to the next. Spending and saving, developing a saving plan. So, here's the thing. Spending and saving, pay yourself. Pay yourself first. List savings as fixed item on your spending. So, huna-huna, pag abot sa imong sweldo, kintahay imong gisweldohan imong kaugalingon. Okay? Tapos, anang sweldo kintahay sa imong kaugalingon actually is your savings. Okay? You are less likely to spend money kung imuhang huna-hunaon na sweldo ni para sa akong kaugalingon. I-save ni nako sa bangko. And my advice for you guys, dapat ang savings account mas nindot kung naka-bank book siya. Dili naka-card. Why? Because it's so accessible ang card. Anytime pwede nimo siyang himong debit card, i-swipe. Pero kung bank book siya, that's a strategy of mine. Pero kung bank book siya, definitely kinahanglan ikaw mismo ang muadto sa bangko para mag-withdraw, di ba? So hassle siya. So sometimes magduha-duha pa ka, dili sa ako mo-withdraw. So laoy taas ang pila. So make sure pay yourself, i-save ang kwarta sa imong sweldo, kintahay sweldo to nimo sa imong kaugalingon, and have it on a bank account. Another is use automatic saving method. If you are, of course, we are now dealing with online banking. So paspas na kayo, no? Pagsulod sa imong ATM, bayad, fees, mga royalties, mga sweldo, whatever na money na sulod, dividend, share nimo sa business, Pag sulod sa imong account, you can do money transfer. I-transfer nimo sa laing account. Okay? Para dili nimo sa mahilabtan. Mas segregate nimo sa daan. In fact, other people would say, better if na kay 5 different bank accounts. Di ba? One is for savings, one's for emergency fund, one is for your pangwalwal, one is for your investment, and one is for your retirement. Di ba? And third, save all or part of a certain type of income. So designate tax refund, annual bonus, tip nimo, may naghatag nimo, nagregalo nimo og money, and have it as a savings. Tanan mga unexpected income nimo na mosulod or passive income maybe, have it as a separate savings. And develop savings plan. Establish savings bucket, okay? Watch these goals get closer as savings grow. Mag-save ka para sa imong things that you want, holiday shoppings that you want, vacation that you wanted to visit, and of course, the retirement. Have this as bucket list para mas interesado ka, ilista nimo para mas ma-engage ka ug ang imong desire really to achieve these things naa. And create an emergency fund. As I mentioned, kaganiha, pabalik-balik na lang ko, start with a goal of 500 pesos. Every month, i-goal nimo, 500 pesos. Then, build it up to a recommended guidelines of 3 to 6 month expenses. So, primero, 500 lang sa, tag 500 lang sa. Hangtod sa padak-a. Padak-a na kaya niya makover ang imuhang 3 months expenses. Okay? Keep it separate from your savings. Dapat lahi siya sa imong savings account. Okay? If possible, i-bank book po ninyo siya. Use it only for emergency as I mentioned. Dili kay ipang Boracay or ipang Palawan or ipang Maldives nimo. Okay? That's really for emergency. And ilisan nimo, replenish. Kung nagamit nimo siya for emergency, then replenish it after you get back on your feet. Nagasto nimo, simba ko. Diba? And certain things happen na in a hospital sa inyo ha. And then you really need to pull out money. Dili nimo, diba? Dili pa ka malunod. Kaya dili pa nimo mahilabtan nimong sweldo. Di pa nimo mahilabtan nimong savings. Di pa nimo mahilabtan nimong investment. Di pa nimo mahilabtan nimong insurance. Because you have the first defense nimo sa imong 5 ka defense, sa imong 5 ka sundalo, is your emergency fund. Emergency fund lang imong mahilabtan. So you still have money on the other soldiers that you have. Secured pa ka. And I would like to leave this message or this last phrase or the last slide na ko sa inyo ha. So my last slide is, do not be afraid of money. Ayaw ka hadlok sa kwarta. Instead, face it with courage. At tuba nga, in the end, it's not equities, bonds, commodities, or real estate that will help you achieve financial freedom. It's your knowledge about money which will make you rich or wealthy and help you always stay wealthy and financially free. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I hope so you learned something. I wish to see you personally. And young professionals of Holy Name University, I hope to see you also financially free. And keep safe always. Once again, thank you for the opportunity. See you around.